Well, welcome back to the Penalty Box Overtime. And so today we had so much fun engaging with Randy. We thought we'd bring him back in and talk to him a little bit more. And we have a special guest, Wes Wyatt, our producer, joining us as well. Welcome back, Randy.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me back. Don't give me the buzzer, Eric, or I'll leave.
You know, who doesn't love OT, right? We all
Exactly.
love OT. So this is going to be part of our show. We want to get a little more depth with you and let you talk a little bit more about how COVID affected your business and how you adjusted, how you reacted. Can you talk about that a little bit in depth?
Yeah, sure can. It was funny and I'll try to make this short. The 17th of March, I got on a plane out of Tulsa, headed back to home in Florida, and the world had changed, right? It's like, it's over. I'm not even sure I'm going to get home. I'm renting cars at airports that I don't even need because I'm not sure the planes will fly, right? And so I decided then that I had to change the way I did my job because I don't know when I'm going to go back to the quote old normal, right? Nor did I know I wanted to. As I got further into it, though, I decided that not only, well, I may not, I don't want to go back to the old normal. I want to hybrid it. And that's the term I use is, so I started reading and discussing, and luckily met you guys in the Megamind group who have been massively helpful.
Yeah.
And figured out that I can be virtual to augment my road warrior part, thus the hybrid, right? I'm never, my business is still a very people-to-people industry. So I still have to go see some folks. I still have to go give them a bro hug and buy pizza pie for lunch and stuff, right? That's still part of what I do, but I don't need to do it as much. And I find that when I'm sitting at home, you know what I found out during the COVID thing? With all the virtual and all the stuff, I could touch 20, 30, 40 customers a day with good touches. If you're traveling and flying, you're lucky to get 4, maybe 5.
Can I ask you a real question?
Yeah.
You said a bro hug, and I call this thing the shug. That's where you like shake hands and you kind of like
bring it in.
do this. Do you full on hug or do you just
It depends. If
you shug? What do you do?
Okay.
I mean, you're in the OT. Just what do you got? I mean,
most of the time you do you start, if you don't know them that well, but well enough that you'll do a hug. You do what'd you call it? A shrug?
Shug. Shake and hug.
Okay. So
shug. That's what I call it.
Okay. Well, you do the shake and then you do stop that. Come on in here.
You go, come here for the real thing.
You give them a little one. Now, if it's somebody that you know well, then it's just like, get your hand out of here. Get the hell away. Come here, buddy.
Right.
So that's me.
Isn't that awkward moment when you're going in for the shake and they want to hug and you're back and there's that awkward moment?
It's kind of like the first kiss, right? With a girl. You're like,
yeah, okay, yeah.
Right? You don't. What do we do here? And then you start doing the dance, right? And then you back off and just forget it.
I have another question. You're out traveling a little bit now.
Yep.
Are you seeing customers obviously are excited to see you? Are you having anybody call saying, bro, where you at? When you coming to see me? Are you having any of that? Or are people still understanding of COVID travel stuff?
Good question. And for the most part, I'd say 85% probably accept it and they get it. I'll get the occasional, geez, you haven't been around in a while, but that's usually more my, I do a lot of work, as you guys know, in the plain folk community, the Amish and Mennonite.
Yep.
They acknowledge it. They know it exists, believe me. But they're a little bit more open for business, than maybe.
Are they huggers?
No.
I've never heard them called plain folk.
Yeah. Plain folk. That's the general buggy driving folks because they live a more plain life. Probably stand. There it is. I got the buzzer.
Wes, you got a question?
No, I didn't. I had never heard plain folk. Over here in Ohio, we have quite a few Amish, but they're almost all north.
Yeah, over in that Holmes County and Tuscarora and up in that area. Yeah.
Well, if they're builders, then Randy knows them.
I know them all. If I don't know them, I should just be shot or something, right? I'm not doing my job.
Well, Randy, I know that you threw out the word pizza just to make Eric feel good, but what's your real go-to food?
My real go-to food is wine. A food.
Yes, wine is a food.
I think it's a great, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, in a different form.
You know, I still nothing better than good fresh seafood from the Gulf when I'm back home in Florida. I mean, I'll be back in a couple of weeks, and that's one of the first things I can't wait to do is, to go to the little waterside eatery where they literally caught the fish like 7 hours ago, and I love seafood, and I get a lot of great food here in northern Michigan when I'm here in the summer, but there's a big difference in my mind between seafood, which is from the ocean, versus freshwater, which is from the Great Lakes or the inland lakes. Not that I dislike that, but I love seafood. Love seafood.
Yeah, a little bit. Do you find it a little bit more gamey than regular seafood?
Yeah. The only thing I'd recommend that I won't eat is what is that? Sea urchin. You ever had a sea urchin?
No. On sushi? No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Hey, what do you say to the old road warrior guys that don't want to adapt and they're waiting for the old normal to come back?
It's not, nor should it. As simple as that. It's not, nor should it. And I'm going to steal somebody that got us all together at one point, right? Give him his credit, Jeffrey Gittimer, right? I remember reading or listening to him years ago said something, and I won't get this exact quote, but if you're not doing social media and you're not doing internet, online stuff, whatever that stuff is, you're an idiot. Pretty bold, and we know Jeff that's Jeffrey's stick, right? But I agree with it. I just think it has to augment, and I think the mistake that some may make is not all or nothing. I'm not talking about setting virtual in my office with my little ring light here and my little banner and just do this forever and never leave. I'm just saying that I can augment my road trips and augment my little things. Like we've all talked about this. I send a quote and I can hold it up and say, here's the quote I'm sending you. Right here, line 7 is the one that we're talking about, right? Have a great day. I need the business, bro. Whatever, however our personality is. So
I'm sorry, Randy, why do you think that the other old school salespeople are hesitant to jump on all in? Are they overthinking it?
Well, I think it's a overthinking. I think it's a fear. I can still remember, and I'm nowhere near as good as I want to be, but I remember the first time I did a video. I did like 740,000 takes, right? Because I thought everything had to be perfect. And the thing that I find doing lives, and I think that comes from the fact that I'm much more comfortable in person with a group of people. I can be with 3 people or 300. I love that. That's my world, right? But doing this kind of thing where I have people to talk back and forth to is way easier for me than sitting and doing a video by myself in my office.
Right.
And so I think there's that fear that I'm going to look stupid. And I think I read somebody, I can't remember who it was. It might have been Christopher Ross or somebody said the other day, you got to learn. I won't say it the way he said it, whoever said it, but you got to learn to be okay with making a mistake and looking dumb. Right? Because you know what? It's raw and organic, and that's what people want to see. So I've really got better. This is me. Right. I might say something stupid. And
how many miles do you think you've walked during COVID?
Oh, geez. I was averaging in Florida before we came north 250, 275 a month. So probably 1,500, 1,600, maybe more.
Wow, that is amazing.
Hey, I know we're getting close here to the end of the OT. What are you insecure about?
What am I insecure about?
No, everyone else. You're the guest. What are you insecure?
Okay, well, I thought maybe this was a round robin or something, little sports analogy there. Probably taking this to the next level that I want to take it to. The stuff we're doing right now. It's I still wonder at times if I have anything to say that makes any sense, or am I just rambling with junk? And so sometimes I wonder if when I do walk and talks and stuff, does this really make any sense, or am I just walking and talking for something to do? And sometimes I do that and I get rid of it because I realized that there was no real purpose to it, right? I just was running my mouth. So that's probably the most. I mean, I'm old, Eric. I mean, I don't have a lot of insecurities. You either like me or you don't. You get me the way I am. And I'm kind of okay either way.
Well, I will tell you, I love your walking and talking, and some of the best conversations I have are with you when we're both walking and talking. So please don't delete them. Please post them. I wouldn't look. I mean, we all have something that somebody can pull out and say, wow, this or that, or I got that, or I relate to that, or if this guy can do a live, I can do a live. And sometimes it's just simple things like that. So man, don't delete them. Keep posting them. I love them.
Well, I agree.
Thank you. Yes, Wes.
So I have a real quick question. This is obviously sports and sales. So you guys may or may not know this, but I'm a magician, and that probably has never come up. But a very amateur one. But I make more food disappear than card tricks. But the truth is, one of the things that happens with like American Legions and in my case magic societies, I find that the people that are in the clubs are getting older and older and older and older to the point that they have to bring in these new members. So now you have the same thing happening with the sales world, in that you don't have the quote unquote road dogs like you would call yourself going out there, because we all know one of the hardest doors to open is either your front door or your car door, to leave. Well, these kids aren't going out and doing it anymore. The people that are getting older are going to be retiring, and now you got COVID creating a sense where you don't have the people that would have gotten into it getting into it. So I see something happening that Eric was talking about with basketball and viewership and the dollars that are being spent. What do you see the sales going to? Because I think there's going to be a lot more call centers and non-personal press in the flesh meetings that start to happen. What are your thoughts on that?
Was that directed to me or to the guys?
I think to you and to Eric, because it was something I was really thinking about. Is I think we're going to see a change in the guard. I really don't think we're going to see that the way that things were done before with cold calls, really done, to the extent that we've seen it in the past.
Randy, you answer that question.
Well, I would answer two ways, Wes. It's a good question. I think that young guys getting into it, if you're not careful, it depends on your industry. Let me back up. Different industries are different. My particular industry, which is building components, it's way more of a good old boy network. We always are going to have to be there with the, what'd you call that? A chug, whatever the heck that thing was.
Chug.
We all have to
shake, hug.
Send me that. I need to learn that.
I will.
I can say, hey, come here, buddy, chug me, or whatever that was.
Yeah, I don't think that'll go over well.
Probably not.
Don't say that.
But my industry is always, if I had to put a number on it right now, and I thought about this the other day because somebody asked me about this, I'm probably going to settle in at around a 60-40, 70-30, probably 60-40 with 40% travel and 60% virtual, probably. But I have no goal. I mean, it's not like it's a goal. It's going to settle into what it settles in. When I can travel, I'll go when I need to go. I'll go when it makes sense. The concern I would have for young guys is if this goes too long and you're in the wrong industry where you need this, they're going to get too used to doing this, and they're going to lose to a guy like me.
Yep.
That's still there buying pizza, taking you out for a beer and spaghetti, right? Going to your kids' church social on Thursday night because I'm in town anyway. You're going to lose out to me every day doing that, because there's still a difference between me giving you the shrug, whatever that thing is, and buying pizza versus
he'll never get that.
sending you some goofy little video and saying, "Hey, how you doing? Hope your kid played good last night." Right. So I think that it's industry related, though. There's probably some industry that could become very call center oriented. Probably. My industry, luckily, is not one of those, but it's very it's something that we can massage. And I think you need to massage because, as I said before, a lot of manufacturers are really hitting we're never going back to the old way.
No, we're not.
We're just not.
And I would say let's stop using the word new. How about just another
normal. Now that's why I call it now normal. It's just whatever it is today.
Now normal. I like that.
I think I would answer that question, Wes, the same way kind of as Randy did. I think what's happened over the last 9 months is you've had a lot of companies that have downsized. They've gotten rid of salespeople. They've taken, it's a great opportunity to cut the middle to the bottom of the pack salespeople, and the upper echelon guys, those are guys and gals that are always going to do well anyway. And so they're adapting, they're adjusting, they're changing. I will say this, Randy thinks maybe his industry is different. I think they're all the same. There are going to be companies that are going to try to go to call centers. They're going to try and never put that expense back out on the street because they're going to go, well, they've got to buy this roofing product somewhere. And so if we have less expense and less overhead, but our sales may be a little less, if that happens, they're
gonna take that money and put it into social media advertising. Those reps that they let go and they're not paying salaries and benefits, vacations, they're gonna take that revenue and they're gonna put it somewhere else because they have to drive sales somehow.
Yeah, I would tell you one of the things that's been on my mind lately, as an example, is my son, 23 years old and trying to figure out sales. And it's my job to to have these conversations and how do you play both sides of it? And, so do we all have can we mentor someone in the sales industry or in the marketing industry or in the, in the whatever Wes industry is, producing industry? Do we have someone that we can mentor and say, look, it can't all be about you being on social media. It can't all be about a LinkedIn post. You still got to make the phone call. You still got to pick the phone up. You still got to send a video. It's all of that doing this. But make no mistake, companies they're not going to rush to run and put salespeople back on the street. And publicly traded companies, they're not going to go backwards in sales, and they're not going to go backwards in EBITDA. And so if sales do go backward a little bit, I guarantee you EBITDA is not, and they're not going to bring people back. So,
no, not kidding.
Oh, and I don't care what industry it is, quite honestly. Well, do we want to wrap up the OT with Tim? You got one more question for Big Rand?
No, yeah, I do. Randy, what is your favorite kind of wine?
It depends on the time of day, but if it's early and I'm going to drink a couple.
Is there a breakfast? Is there a breakfast wine?
Well, he does have time appropriate drinks.
Yes.
Don't make no mistake.
Yes.
All right. Why don't you give us 3 and divide the day from 6 a.m. to noon to do it that way.
Okay. 6 a.m. to noon would be a rosé or a Northern Michigan dry Riesling or a Northern Michigan or anywhere stainless steel Chardonnay. So you don't get the buttery taste. Noon to 6, Cabernet or a Pinot Noir, but probably a Cabernet or a Cab Franc. 6 o'clock on, Pinot Noir because it's less tannins and doesn't give you as much headache or acid indigestion. There you go.
Now, is it true from midnight till 2 a.m. you'll drink a Zima with a Jolly Rancher in it, or is that
whatever? Exactly. At that point, it's all rules are off.
Zima with a Jolly Rancher. I love it.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, guys, thanks for joining us on the OT. This we'll do this every week, so we'll have the regular show. We'll have the OT with a little more in-depth stuff. And as always, Tim, thank you for joining us. Randy, thank you, sir.
Well, thank you.
Producer extraordinaire. Thank you, sir.
Awesome.
Guys, have a great day. Thanks. We'll talk to y'all soon.
Thanks a lot.